Okay, we want to thank everyone that is here and will watch this virtually for coming to the meeting today. We have a pretty cool lineup of things to do today, and we want to wish you all Merry Christmas. But before we start, we're going to open up with an invocation by our chapter secretary, Connor Donaldson.
I like to read a quote. It goes, challenge yourself every day to do better and be better. Remember, growth starts with a decision to move beyond your present circumstances. That is by Robert II. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for giving us another day to breathe. We thank you for allowing us to be here today. And we thank you for the family that you've given us with the FFA, everything that you've given us, Lord. Then we ask you that you please watch over the people traveling this for the break for Christmas and stuff. And then we thank you for allowing everybody to be healthy that is healthy. And we ask that you please watch over the ones that ain't. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Meeting room will come to order. We are now holding an official meeting of the Lynn Camp FFA chapter. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The historian.
Stationed by the chapter scrapbook.
Your duties there?
Tradition and history are a source of pride for our organization. It is my duty to maintain a record of chapter achievements and promote excellence through highlighting activities, events, and accomplishments that our chapter membership is motivated by our past successes and looks to our future achievements.
The sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door, many friends of the FFA pass. It is my duty to see the doors open to our that they are meeting comfortable and Mr. President.
The reporter.
Stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform that every man, woman, and child should know that FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Maine to Hawaii and Alaska to the Virgin Islands.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I gave a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries. Wherever corn is grown, FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is the symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of a president whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is our president so stationed?
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness into the brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their station.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will now call the roll of members.
There are 7 members, 2 guests, and 1 advisor, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA membership possesses. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting of the Lynn Camp FFA chapter duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Mr. Secretary, what is the first item of business?
Secretary's report.
Secretary's report will now be given by Chapter Secretary Connor Donaldson.
The November meeting of the Lynn Camp FFA chapter was called to order by Elijah Brock, chapter president, on November 19th, 2020. We met virtually, and there were 29 members, 1 advisor, and 2 guests present. The minutes of the November 2020 meeting, were read by Chapter Secretary Connor Donaldson, who moved for them to be accepted as read. Earl Bundy seconded the motion, and the motion passed. The treasurer's report for the month of November was presented by Chapter Treasurer Earl Bundy. He reported the balance. I can't remember the exact balance on that one. Chapter Treasurer Earl Bundy then moved for the report to be accepted as read. Connor Donaldson, seconded the motion, and the motion was passed. There was no reporter's report, and there was no committee report other than the committees getting assigned. Mr. President, I move to accept the Secretary's report as read.
Second.
Second.
The motion to accept the Secretary's report as read has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. Is there any in opposition? Motion passes. Mr. Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Treasurer's report.
The Treasurer's report will now be given by Chapter Treasurer Earl Bundy.
Okay, so for the month of November, we actually don't have a treasurer's report, seeing as there was no financial transactions done in the month of November.
Mr. Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Committee report.
The committee report will now be given by Chapter Vice President Shelby Arnold.
We're hoping we'll be able to meet after January, depending on how everything plays out with the restrictions and COVID. And we do have an announcement that Ariana placed second in the fall quiz contest and will move forward we'll proceed to go to the spring contest at Regional Banquet in the spring. I move to accept committee report as read.
Second.
The motion to accept the committee's report as read has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we will proceed to vote. Is there any in opposition? Motion passes. Mr. Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Advisors' announcements.
The advisors' announcements will now be given by Chapter Advisor Dustin Johnson.
Thank you, sir. It's funny that today's meeting, the theme of today's meeting is cheer. Seeing as how, I don't know if you can hear it now, it's kind of quieted down. There's lots of screaming and crying going on in the background here. Not a whole lot of cheer being spread, but, I was thinking earlier about some of the things that would be going on right now, especially with FFA. If we were, not in the midst of a pandemic, we would be having our Christmas dinner for all of you right now. And that's a time that, we really spread cheer. We get together, we eat food, we read the true Christmas story from the Bible. We listen to good songs, have a good time. We would probably be having a snow day today. If you look outside, at least here where I'm at in London, it's everything's white. A lot of things that we have missed out on, not just right now, but throughout the year. But we can't use that as an excuse not to spread cheer. If we think about cheer, cheer's a lot like light. If we think about light, when we have light, it gives us direction. No longer are we in the dark. And so it feels like we've been in the dark of this pandemic for quite a while, but guys, just a little bit of cheer, man, that can light somebody's day up. That can provide the direction, the hope that somebody needs to get through whatever they're going through. Light dispels fear. My little girl, both of them actually, they're scared of the dark, and I'll let you in on a secret. I ain't a big fan of the dark either. And so when we have lights, that fear is gone. We can see what's going on. And so the same with cheer. And we talked about hope there a second ago. Just a little bit of cheer, maybe it gives us that hope that, hey, we can get through this. We can get through this pandemic. I can get through this rough patch that I'm going through. I can get through whatever family drama that's going on. I can get to the other side. I can get through whatever is holding me back. And then finally, light also, it comforts. It's nice to have some light on when we're with friends and family. We can see each other. We can see the faces. Of course, Ryan's dark right now, but just the fact that I'm getting to see these officers' faces right now, and those of you that join us live when we have class, that brings me a little bit of cheer. And cheer does the same. When we make somebody smile, we give them some comfort. And so, guys, that's my message today is, sometimes we're looking for cheer when we can be the ones giving cheer. And so during this Christmas season, as looks like we're starting to get close to, maybe we can see the light at the end of the tunnel with this pandemic being over soon, hopefully. Just bring some cheer, bring some happiness, spread some hope, spread some joy. Enjoy these next few weeks off as we take a little bit of a break. But let's get back and ready to go, get re-energized for January. And so with that, Mr. President, I'll turn it back over to you.
Mr. Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Gift drawing.
All right. So since I have one very unhappy child and one child trying to calm the other one, I'm going to do a random drawing here. So I've randomized the names on my phone. So let's see here. Mr. President, can you give me a number between 1 and 28?
17.
17. And it looks like our lucky winner, and the prize this month is we're doing Christmas candy bar sales. We should have mentioned that earlier. Those sales in tomorrow. You're going to get some Christmas candy bar, and I'll get with whoever. It's going to be pretty easy to get with this person. Brooklyn Fuson is the winner again, 2 months in a row. You lucky dog. I ought to make Elijah draw again, but we'll be fair. Let's take Brooklyn to Vegas. Let's all take a trip right now. We'll be doing all right. All right, Mr. President.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Mr. President.
We are about to. Oh, no. Does any member know of any unfinished or new business which now should be properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this meeting of the Lynn Camp FFA chapter. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in our labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this meeting adjourned.